So hey everybody, we're back out here on the ice, just a post meeting with some of our BSF reps and fishing on Jamestown Reservoir again. We thought the bite was really good last time, so we were just going to hit it again. And well, we're not doing too hot ourselves.
We're a little short.
But the other guys caught some, and so we're doing all right. But I'm just thinking about this week in review and just the kind of call volume that I've got, and I know just talking with Jason that he's gotten it too. Here we are, April 4th, and we're fishing still on 3 foot of ice, and it doesn't look like there's any sign of planting or spring weather for at least 2 weeks. So I think it's safe to say that we're coming into a late start and probably a pretty cool and wet one. So a lot of questions this week back on biological products. We're getting a lot of questions about starter fertility placement and biologicals and what can be done to get a good early start and promote more plant growth. And so there are a lot of products out there in the market, and one that we've had for many years is called Ascend. And so I thought we would just do our Agronomy on Ice today and talk just a little bit on that. So I guess I'll let you talk a little on that, Jason, but why don't you tell us what's in Ascend and what makes that unique, let's say, from other products.
So it's a plant growth regulator, and so some people question that is why would I want to regulate my plant? And it's not like a palisade where you're trying to shorten the inner nodes. It's not like a 2,4-D or a dicamba that PGRs, people think of plant growth regulators. These are the growth hormones that you'll find in plants. So you've got stress hormones, which we won't talk about today. We're going to focus on the growth hormones. So you're going to run across the components of it are gibberellic acid, which is going to help you with germination process to start that, which will be probably very important the way the spring is looking. It also contains cytokinin, and that is going to be for root development. And that's one of the things you'll almost always hear from people that use Ascend, if it's corn or wheat or barley, is that they produce big roots. That's part of that. And the other thing it contains are auxins, and that's for more plant growth above ground for leaves. So you've got kind of those three components, and what you're trying to do, and you can do, is you build a bigger plant. And what we've found mostly is that the response to this product is predominantly the most consistent with your monocots. So barley, durum, wheat, spring wheat, winter wheat, or corn. And usually it gets used in a seed treatment fashion or with a starter fertilizer in furrow, primarily with corn. But you want it as close to the seed as possible. So generally with seed treatment, you see that with your cereals. With corn, you see it more with an in-furrow treatment. And it's part of in-furrow, you got your phosphate for your energy source, your ATP, initially at early season, and then also you probably got zinc in combination with that. So you've got many things that are there to enhance germination. So it's a combination of three things to get a plant germinated quicker, a bigger root system earlier, and emergence out of the ground quicker, which will probably be something that everybody will be concerned about this spring so far. We'll see how the weather turns out, but so far.
Right, and it's that just enhanced overall growth early that's such a huge deal, because think about cold soils and think about nutrients like phosphorus. Something that isn't that readily available in cool soil conditions. That's the whole reason we're putting starter fertility down anyways. So if we can find a way to build a bigger root architecture, we could get more root hairs, get anything where we can intercept more physical soil, where we can get more root interception with phosphorus, or get to that band of phosphorus, or more soil phosphorus. It's a lot about that in early growth, and that's what's really helping out on that early growth and development. And the bigger plant we can start, hopefully the bigger plant we can maintain, and really in the end, that's equated to pretty good yield increases.
And we've had this formula, we've had versions of this product along, and we're looking at always trying to improve our formulation from a stability standpoint, because what's a shelf life of something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain products that are out in the market. We hear a lot that this is the same as Ascend or the close version. It depends on how much of content of what it has, because you might have a product that's a lot of gibberellic acid, and so that might help you with the germination process or later on down the road, but is it helping you with the root system that you want to get established? We've had years where people have used it and it's gotten dry and the crop has held on because you've got a bigger root system, more root hairs, and if you're moisture strapped, that's a big deal. Maybe
exactly.
that's not a phosphate thing then, that's just a holding on for your dear life kind of thing if it's super dry.
Right, and that's a good point that you're making right there. So there's just a lot of benefits in general to be able to build that bigger root system and bigger plant. Bigger top end growth gives you more photosynthesis, more energy production, which is just going to equate to, helping the roots out, helping cell differentiation, all that. So this is all really important. And so when I think about this, just to keep things short and think about some key takeaways on this, the whole idea is, if we have suboptimal soil temperatures where we have root growth and overall plant growth that's going to be slowed down, or is not going to be a very fast metabolism during the spring season, this is where something like Ascend could really make a big difference. And it really has. I mean, if you look at, talking to anybody that has seen answer plot data, all that, that's something we can go back to thousands of data points that we're able to mine out different climatic conditions, if it's hot and dry, if it's cool and wet, however it is. And what we see is there's generally a response regardless of the conditions, but when we're in that cool and wet environment, it always is equating to a better yield gain with the use of this.
Most of our yield data would suggest on corn that it shows up better in our earlier day maturity corns as compared to later. I think primarily because we are farther north, cooler soils, that type of spring. So it generally plays out that way in the data sets that we got. So we're going to put some other stuff out to kind of follow up on this, but we just want to do a quick intro on some of this stuff.
Yeah, so guys, be watching out for maybe a little more technical end that you could follow up with that will be on one of our Twitter pages. And other than that, I'm thinking of, how could we get creative to get the fish to bite? Should have brought some Ascend with us. I wonder if you could put that on there. It'd be like a little bit of power bait or something like that. I think that's the missing ingredient right now.
We had 2 guys with us from BSF today, and one was from Mississippi, and he outfished us. So he was pretty scared that he's never been on ice fishing before. He's really complaining that this is not spring weather, and but it was a good sport, and he fishes Mississippi, and he did really well today. He caught a couple crappies. One of them we threw back because he was small, but yeah, we just haven't pulled the trigger on this yet. We might have to do something different.
So with that, guys, I think we'll call this a wrap. But you got any good fishing tips? You leave those in the comments too, because we might need them.
Oh, my back. I thought I was going to peel over there.